Hey there, hello and welcome. It's Madeline here, and I am just back from a 4-day meditation retreat with my meditation teacher, and I wanted to share the biggest takeaway that I had from that event of some of the 4 days of some of the best time I've ever spent in my life. So at the beginning of all of these events, right, of retreats and personal development events, if you're familiar with those, we always set an intention at the beginning of the event. And as I was writing out the intention, my intuition was telling me this isn't quite right. And but that was cool. I went with it anyway. And then I had ahas the whole time. But it wasn't until day 4, right? It was a 4-day event. It wasn't until day 3, day 4, the end of day 3, beginning of day 4, that I really had the ahas. I'm talking about my recent 4-day meditation retreat with my teacher, if you're just joining me. So, and although my intention for the retreat was to embrace uncertainty, my biggest aha was about making space and making space for a lot of things, but primarily making space for God. So things are pretty crazy, right? 2020 has been wild, to say the least. Hey, Pete. Hey, Carlos. Good to see you. It's been a while. 2020 has been wild, to say the least, right? And I don't know about you, but my anxiety has been through the roof. And I've also manifested some amazing things. And 2020 has been, just like Charles Dickens said, 2020 has been the best of times. It's been the worst of times, hasn't it? Do you think so as well? But anyway, my anxiety has been pretty high. The anxiety of my loved ones and my clients have been pretty high as well. And my teacher said something this weekend that was one of my biggest aha. And he said, all of our stress is a result of not letting God into our life. Not letting God into a certain area of life. Maybe that's your relationship. Maybe that's your career. Maybe it's all of the above. And interestingly, my word for 2020 was faith. And 2020 certainly put that word to the test. And back to my takeaway, right? So letting God into your life, making space for God in your life. Because stress is because we're separated from God. And I think 2020 is really a good example of that, because we're separated from each other. There's a lot of divisiveness in the world, in the US anyway, right now. I imagine in the rest of the world as well. And we're separated as a result of what's going on in the world. And when we're separated from each other, we're separated from God. And that separation just further takes us from God. And my teacher's comment about the stress is about not letting God into your life reminds me of a quote from the metaphysical spiritual text, A Course in Miracles, which is that if you knew who walked beside you, fear would be impossible. And that's true, isn't it, right? If we knew that God walked beside us, walked with us, walked within us, is always around us, fear, anxiety, stress would be impossible, wouldn't it? That's right. So as a result, right, this is one of my biggest takeaways from my meditation retreat. As a result, I've made more space in my life for God, and I do that through prayer and meditation. And today I'd like to invite you to make that space in your life as well. And it's important to do both pray and meditate, right? Because prayer is when we talk to God and meditation is when we listen. And we know that communication is a two-way street. And nobody likes somebody who does all of one or the other. It's important to do both. So today I'd like to invite you to make that space in your life. And if you'd like, I can help you with that space in your life. I've actually created a space, a meditation mastermind, where we come together weekly on a to cultivate that space, to connect with God, connect with yourself, and to connect with other spiritual beings who are on the same path and are dedicated, or at least know that they need to cultivate and make this space in their life in order to have true joy and success. So if you'd like to talk to me about how you can do that with me, I invite you to say me in the comments, or send me a private message, or, put your favorite me emoji in the comments below. Okay, so, but with or without me, I do hope that you will take the time to make more space in your life for God and therefore yourself. So again, if you'd like to join me on that journey, or if you'd like to allow me to join you on that journey, I invite you to say me, or put your favorite emoji in the comments below, or drop me a private message, and I'll reach out to you with the details, okay? So thanks for hanging out with me. I hope this serves you. I look forward to seeing you again soon. And in the meantime, I will see you in the gap. Namaste. Be blessed. Mwah.